Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world and listening to me. This is Mary of Mongrain. I'm a life coach, and I'm here with It's Me Time podcast. It's a pleasure to be here again today with all of you, where I'm going to share a little bit of my journey as a young widow, a life coach, in a mindset life coach. I also help people with self-love, and I'm a certified neurosciences, applied neurosciences life coach, as well as a certified master freedom formula leader. And so I am today, oh my goodness, I didn't write a list. I'm just winging it because there's so much that happened this weekend. And if you have not heard the last podcast, I went to New York. Right, the last podcast, I was on my way to New York on the weekend, but now I came back this yesterday, actually. And if you want to check outside, I know if you're listening to this podcast, you're not seeing it. Oh, we can't really see it. But for those who are listening or are watching it, today we came back and there's snow. We came back yesterday and there's snow right now in Brossard here in Quebec. But nonetheless, we had an amazing weekend. And today I'm saying, you know what? This is most likely the last snow of this season. We had an amazing spring. And it was like Mother Nature saying, you can find everything beautiful. And I love, for me, the snow is so beautiful. I am not enjoying the cold, honestly. I'm looking forward to changing vibration and being where it's super nice and warm all year long, where I don't have to struggle in finding snow pants and mitts and making sure that my girls are not going to be cold. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, by the way, my website is maryofmongrain.com if you want to go and check it out. To have some private session, if you want to bring me into your company, I do offer a seminar. I have a conference too that I offer. And yeah, so just a little bit about me here. So I went to New York. Oh my God, you guys. Why did I go to New York? You may ask if you have not listened prior. I had a billboard. I have a billboard for the next 2 weeks. It's supposed to be there and go, sporadically. I have a billboard with my picture in Times Square at 1540 Broadway, Times Square, New York. Okay, I'll be honest. Back in September, when that's all from PBN podcast. I got that amazing opportunity. I still can't believe it. Okay, I went to see it, and I'm glad I took a video of it because I'm still processing things. You're stepping into reality, things like it's just not that it doesn't make sense. And I know some of you guys do understand that. What that triggered for me was okay, I'm in the moment. I'm doing this. It's awesome. I said I was screaming like a crazy person. And not that crazy people are there's nothing wrong with that, but I did not stand out much in New York. Honestly, I was like, oh my God, this is me screaming. It was not the most busy time at Times Square on Saturday at noon. I did not know that. So next time, if that does happen again, I will go for Saturday 5 p.m. Right after all the Broadway show are done, because that was really full. But nonetheless, there were people around there. It doesn't matter. I was there, right? I was there. I'm doing all of this for myself, for my girls. And I brought my girls to New York too. I said, we're going to go and see them on the screen. But oh my God, it's so huge. It's so huge. At first, back in September when that was offered, I said yes for the price I was paying. And thank you to the sponsor. I don't remember the name. Who sponsored also my podcast. It's a producing company. Oh my God, and I feel so bad because I already said it in the past podcast with Jill, but thank you, honestly, that you've seen my worth and ready to invest like this and give me that hand and support for me to share my message with the world. I feel so blessed that the universe brought me to you guys, that brought you guys to me. All the team at PBN Podcast, everybody who's working on this behind the scene that I don't know, I've never seen any of you support financially in time. Honestly, I am very blessed. And I don't know how, I know it's all about energy and attraction. And I don't know how I manifested that, But man, like it was such an epic experience. It was just me and my girls there, unfortunately. So I will do say that I did feel lonely, right? Even though I'm like, oh my God, it's me. I still felt lonely. I was having a huge moment in my life. And it was just me and my girls. So how I had to see it was, you know what? My husband is there in the soul. I can see him. My mom also in the soul. She's there. And my grandfather, my aunt, my uncle, great aunt, whatever, right? And now when I go somewhere, if there's a lot of space around me, right? I know my energy takes up a lot of space. I always say that, well, this is my entourage, right? They're my spiritual entourage. And when we went to see Wicked on Saturday, we actually went and booked some tickets for Wicked. And I said, no, I'm manifesting that we always have great seats. And I got tickets, and then we sat. There was one person in front of us, but there was like 6 seats in front of us that were empty. Another 3 beside us that were empty. So it's like, well, we were able to move a little bit. My daughter, she didn't feel comfortable in moving. It's like, we pay for these seats, mama, right? But there's like nobody there. Like we can move. It's okay. But anyway, so we still, oh man, that show was super amazing. It's my second time. I know I'm all over the place. It was such an exciting weekend. But yes, so we manifest space. I don't enjoy being stuck and feeling imprisoned. I like to feel free. And now, like, I was looking around in the theater, and there was nobody like that many seats around them that were free. So that was pretty fun. Sometimes it does feel lonely, but now instead of seeing it as it's lonely, I'm like, yeah, I manifested this, right? Here's a seat for my husband, for my mom. Here's everybody else is sitting there. Just I didn't have to pay for their seats. But anyway, about that Times Square billboard, man. Okay, again, I'll finish my story, right? I started it back in September when that was offered. I think September, October. That's been in the works since September and October, right? We are now mid-April. And I know everything has not to do about their work, about anything they have to do. And yes, we needed approval for this and for that. But these are just details. These are just circumstances, right? They did what they could, but everything worked out from the universe, from my energy. So if I was not ready to be a container to receiving all that attention and all that hugeness, amazingness, dream life, like just right in my face of seeing me like this, I could not attract the approval at the moment, right? So I know and I'm aware everything, why it happened now and not before. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. I enjoy talking about it. Now it's like that reality, that dream just happened and landed in reality, which was, I don't know how to describe it, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to scream. That was my plan. I'm going to scream so people know it's me, right? And and I did. And there's a lot of characters, let me just say that way. There's a lot of characters at Times Square, right? And so again, that's why I did not stand out that much. First, there was not that many people, but the people who were there were already also screaming all by themselves, right? And taking people's attention. But I didn't know. My girls and I were like distributing some business cards around there, like around the place, like, hey, this is me. And it showed up like in the time I was there, it showed up 3 times, and I didn't see it again. And we came back a couple of times later. And that's okay, right? That's okay. It's gonna come for the people who need to see it. But just for me to say, hey, I got a video, I was on Times Square for like even those 15 seconds, like it showed up 3 times, like 5 seconds each. But it was so incredible. Like, I still don't believe it. Like, it still hasn't processed how big that is. Like, it's such a huge, good, like a good experience. But it feels like I should feel different, right? Like, it should feel different. I don't, but I think it's just because I'm still not seeing all the implication that has, right? Like, I don't know how to explain it. But again, right, if I go about my grief journey, where it's so huge, it's a huge loss. My husband, like, I know I'm processing it like a little bit at a time here and there, but it's been a huge loss. And I've been so hard on myself. Like, even this morning when came up, I was like, oh yeah, I do feel shame that I should be at a better place in my life. I should be more healed than that. Like I should not still be crying right now, right? Like there's a part of me that still say that, and I know it's not true. Like I know I'm like, whatever. Like it was your husband. You can cry however long you need to. Like you know, even though you would have someone in your life, you still get to be sad. You know, it was still part of your life. Would you beat up? You know, if you have someone in your life that has lost their mom or dad and they still cried 20 years ago, will you tell them to stop crying and stop grieving? No. Well, why would you do that to yourself? Like, because I feel like I need to be on a clean slate to start with someone new, right? Oh, my husband, I feel like I need to have all my grief done to go with something new, which is like ridiculous. I am still deserving of being loved as a grieving person, right? It's not one or the other. I can have both, but I just have to accept myself that the grieving process may take longer and to stop, right? Maybe now like I'm getting closer, and it might like just grief transform, right? Grief is just love that's not processed, that doesn't have anywhere to go. So as I process and build everything I'm going through, things are going to work out. But like, so me, like it's kind of a theme right now. This was so huge of a loss. I still am processing it like, afterward. Oh my God, this billboard is huge. I'm processing it now. Like, but at least now it's a good thing I'm processing, right? It's a good event. And just to align. So right now, like I was here, but I need to align my inner being with that reality of like, this has happened, right? Now what? And just, so I look at my video, like if you don't know what my video is, because I'm not going to post it here. Oh, maybe I should. No. Anyway, go on Instagram at Mary. So the hashtag is, the handle is Mary Mongrain 90. So MARIE MONGRAIN 90 is the same handle for TikTok. And I did post them there. It's a 42-second video where you see me like on profile, I show my face, and then I'm like, oh, it's gonna go there. This is me, and then I'm showing it. It's like, this is me. Like I've never screamed that much in my life. And one thing that I can say is on the support, on the groups that I have, in the communities I work with about love attraction and about new paradigm, which you can, by the way, if you want to join, it's the new paradigm living. It's with Nick Bro, who's my mentor, and I am a certified master freedom leader of his program. And I sell his program because you know what? Yes, I get a quote. I get money from it, but there's a program in the community that I've found that matches more about my beliefs. So you can go on my website. You can find like seminar and a freedom formula, and then just go down at the bottom. You can join the community. You can join this training. If you're somebody who likes to teach about love attraction and want to help your clients, if you're a teacher, you can also take that and add this for yourself to help your student and anyone you work with. For me, it's huge, right? But again, I shared my post with every community I'm on Facebook, right? So with the new paradigm, with Nick Bro, like Lisa Nichols, Speaker Mastermind, like everywhere I could think of. Like, yeah, I've been in this community and this and that, and just have people to celebrate, right? Even though it's all around the world, people are all over the world. It's fun to receive that love back, honestly. And we manifest, like, honesty, I'm saying honesty often. I will not apologize. It was an amazing, amazing weekend. And I'm sharing with you this excitement because I know in your life, there's stuff that you guys can't know that maybe is super big and you still haven't processed it, right? When my children were born, when my two girls were born, I don't recall like being, oh my God, and crying, like, like so happy. And after a while, I'm like, I felt like I missed out on this emotion of like feeling so much love and so much joy. And I was very happy. I didn't suffer at the epidural. It was amazing. Oh my God, amazing. First time to get the epidural was not. It was super painful. It got jabbed in between two contraction, or as one contraction was coming up. Then the second time, was pretty sweet. I could just click it as I wished. And it was just like, yeah, no pain. Coughed 3 times. My daughter gets out of me. It was just amazing. I really enjoyed being a mother, being a pregnant, and everything went well. But I didn't have that, oh my God, right? Like so much gratitude emotion. I did not have that. But I know if you're kind of stuck in trauma, not trauma, but like in the freeze or flight mode, or just like survival of like, okay, it's done. What's next, right? Not being in the present. I did, with my first daughter, when she came out, I was like, what? That wasn't, this baby was inside of me. Like it was very, I guess it's a theme, right? It's like very strange. Like it was awesome. It was so big of an event, but I guess because if you go step by step, those big events are just like normal. Like it's just the next step, right? If you've been planning one step at a time, when you get to the final outcome, it's still just one more step. So that would explain why. And stop telling myself you should be more excited than this. It's very exciting. So this weekend I also saved a life. Now I don't know if I saved the life, obviously, but I will tell you the story. So my girls, there's a pool at the hotel, and we've manifested amazing pools like that are like 3 to 5 feet top, like deep, right? Now my girls are like over the 3 feet. They don't need their swimwear, like their floaties, and I don't have to go in the water. I enjoy swimming if the water is nice, like 85, 90 degrees Celsius. I don't know in Fahrenheit what it is. Under that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit on the side and enjoy, right? So now they're getting older. I'm enjoying. I can just sit down and enjoy them, having fun without being in it. So which is amazing. But then at one point, there's this boy. His mother was, screaming at him like, "Hey, come on, come on, come on!" And I looked around, and I think that the boy was drowning. Like he was trying to he was just like maybe like an inch or two, like there would have been an inch or two of water on top of his head, so he was like just this more short, but like he couldn't swim back up, right? So I saw his mom like starting to take off her shoes, and I just jumped in the water. I had my pants, my dress. I did not hesitate. But the thing is, I was ready. And you know why I was ready? Because now my kids, when I put them in the water, usually I go in the swimming pool with them all the time. And at this time I said, you know what, I'm just going to sit here. I didn't even put my bathing suit. I said, if anything happens, I'll just jump in, right? If there's like, whatever, I don't care. I'm going to go and save my kids. If there's anything, but I knew if they stayed in that area, they were safe. I did not expect I was going to be saving someone else's life. But for me, it was just like, oh, somebody's drowning. I'm big enough. I can go, and I just went, right? It's just normal. But I don't know, like for me, like knowing about manifestation, like I don't know if I was like kind of not a psychic ability or like kind of feeling this was going to happen, or if I created this. Like I have no clue. It doesn't matter. The boy is fine. Like, you did throw up on the side of the pool there, but it was fine. It was breathing and it's all good. But it was just weird because earlier one of his brother was playing, and like he hit his head doing a flip in the water, and we were talking like, well, maybe you can go a little deeper, so if you're gonna do the flip, you're not gonna hurt yourself, right? And then this other boy pretty much was like struggling exactly where I told the other boy to go. So not only was I already ready to jump in the water in case something happened, I already like told the other boy to go there, and then things happen. So there's a part of me is like, yeah, I helped this boy, but at the same time, did I create it? I know it was all co-created energetically, but yeah. So anyway, and then this weekend, oh my God, okay, it was a huge weekend. It was a 4-day weekend. We left on Thursday evening, and I came back yesterday, Monday evening. And for me, this whole event, even though my billboard was only like, I saw it for 15 seconds, it took us 8 hours to drive. Usually it's 6-hour drive, but we were at the border for 2 hours to go, and then an hour to come back at the border. So like, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. I drove 15 hours with my 2 girls. Thank God for Apple and their tablet. So I hear girls have fun. Like they watched, a lot of tablet for the weekend, but they enjoy it. So it was not an issue. But I did 16 hours of drive to go see me 15 seconds. I don't recall anybody doing that for me in my entire life, driving this much for this little time, right? When you're doing the inner work of like, I am worthy of someone driving across the country or across the globe, and especially when I want to see my worth and attracting that relationship of that perfect man, he knows I'm worth it. He could be in Australia and he would cross the country to come and see me, right? But I'm giving that to me because whatever I give to me is kind of setting the standard for what I'm attracting from my man. So yes, I give myself flowers. Yes, I give myself gifts. Yes, I give myself, rest time and travel and, acts of kindness and whatever. And now I give myself that I'm driving and spending money because we spend the weekend there. So, but it was for me and the girls. For me to go see myself 15 seconds. I did that time of hour, that drive, 4 nights at the hotel. We went to see Wicked. Like, while we're there, I enjoy Broadway. I love the Broadway shows. Like, we've seen Aladdin back in November. I'd seen Wicked back in London in 2012, I think, which was super amazing. Honestly, okay, this time here in New York, yes, vocally, it was not the strongest performance I've seen or I've heard, because first time I saw Wicked in London, I had chills. That high pitched, oh my God, I had chills. And I was just like in awe. This time it was a different experience. It was not the sound I was looking for, which is fine. She was still the singers and actors were amazing. It was really fun. But I took the story differently. Unless the story changed, but seeing life as a life coach, you're like, Glenda is the good witch? Are you kidding me? She was the mean one. She's the one who was bullying, I don't remember, Alphaba. She's the one who was laughing at her and putting her down and be like rejecting her. And she calls herself the good witch when Alphaba, she's the one like caring about the animals. She wants to help like the teachers. She wants to, her dad did not like it. Like, I'm a life coach of mindset, right? I deal with trauma and what people I've gone through. So like what's build their personality and what they attract as pattern. So her thinking she was always, unwanted because her parent, made her feel unwanted because of her color. And I'm like, I felt so bad for her. I'm like, she's not the bad witch. She's not wicked. She's like, she's hurt. And, and then the other one is a good one. Like, it did not make sense in my head. It was like, are you kidding me? But then what I really enjoyed from that show was, like at the end, the two witches, they became friends together. But like the Alphaba, which is the Wicked Witch of the West, I'm pretty sure it's the West, she says, please don't clear my name, right? Do not do that because you always wanted to be famous. You always wanted this and that. Do not clear my name because they're going to hate you, right? They love so much each other. It's like, I don't care anymore. I'm off with my scarecrow. I'm off with the love of my life. Which my girl and I, we were bawling our eyes out. Like, when like she went, I'm like, oh my God, just crying so much. But it was like, she gets to have the love of her life. And she's like, I don't care about whatever people think of me. I'm leaving with my man. And I was like, oh my God, she gets to have her happy ending. And like I want to cry now seeing that. But it's like just a reflection of me too, of like, yeah, I was not bad. I was hurt in whatever I did in the past, but I still will have my happy ending too. And it was really, it was not about the vocal performance, but the actual story that I saw, like even as myself, that was able to take on me. And it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. So yeah, Wicked, you guys did an amazing job. And I'm trying to embody, not trying, I'm embodying a little at a time, being in a relationship. And when you see a gorgeous man holding a woman, like just like, oh my God, yeah, I want to be held like this. Instead of imagining and forcing myself to imagine something that I don't know how it feels, I watch this, like by watching this, I'm like, yes, I want to be at her place and that he holds me like this, right? And for those, I've not started watching Bridgerton. I don't know how to say it, but it's on Netflix. I started watching that last week. If you're single and you want to start embodying that sexy energy of like what it feels like to be wanted, and watch that. Like honestly, watch that. Like there's some sexual parts, yes, but instead of going to sleep around with other people, give you, oh, there's a squirrel. I love squirrel. Sorry, like squirrel. There's actually a squirrel in on my patio. But just start watching stuff that you feel like you would like to be at our place, right? That's how I do it. I imagine myself, one of the actress, and oh yeah, I want to do that in the stairs, right? I want to do this, whatever they're going through, or like, this is how I would be, right? So I'm starting to feel the emotions from what I'm watching, because sometimes I don't have a hard time generating it from myself, right? So if I can embody and get what I can from other people, I'm like, yes, I like that. And at just point, yes, it's done. Yes, this is what I'm going to go through. This is my husband. Yes, this. And just doing this actually helps, be able to dream a little more. Knowing that whatever I want, I have, even though I don't see it yet, helps so much. And then say, oh my God, this is what's going to go out. That's what's going to happen. And it's just, it makes the process much funner, like more funner. I don't know if that's a word, but, and so, yeah. And one more thing before I go, 2 minutes. We went on an Easter. So we went to, on Easter, Sunday, we went to American Dream. Oh my God, it's a huge space. Okay, it's a huge place in New York, like just in New Jersey, where there's like a DreamWorks aqua park, like water park. There's like Nickelodeon, roller coaster park. There's an indoor, you can go skiing, like an indoor mountain or something. And it's like, oh my God, like it's huge. Big shopping mall, lots of restaurants, lots of food, like lots of stuff there. So I booked for the girls and we went to the aqua park, the water park. You spend the money, you go there. And then in the end, like after 5 minutes, we leave because my daughter's starting, I think her legs were red and scratching and she was crying. I'm like, there's no way I'm spending the whole day here with a baby, like with a little 5-year-old who's crying because she's in pain, right? I didn't ask for reimbursement because in my eyes, it's like, you know what? There was a huge lineup. Oh my God, the lineup was so huge. I'm actually glad that we left because it was sold out and it was, again, huge, right? And so in the end, we left. I didn't ask for a refund. I said, you know what? Money doesn't matter. My kid being fine matters the most, right? And I know a lot of people say, well, we spend that money, we're going to enjoy it until the end. But that is making yourself go through something and your kids go through something just for the money, right? You're making them go through something bad, which would be a rash, just so you can say, I've enjoyed the money that I spent, right? For me, we were having a good time. I preferred, leaving my money there. And after I sent an email to see if I could get reimbursed. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. But it did not make sense for me to let my kid being in pain, just so I can enjoy making sure I got every little drip of my money, right? So this is just my mindset. So, I do advocate for kids' well-being, no matter what. So, but yes, it was amazing. It was an amazing thing. We went to an Easter show later on, and we manifested my girl being on stage, and then manifested that my other girl still got the little treats too, even if she was not picked. I can talk to you about this one maybe later. I will write it down so I don't forget. But yes, so this was a little short resume of my weekend in New York. Feel free to follow me on TikTok, Instagram with the handle at maryevmongrain.com. Go on my website, maryevmongrain.com. That's MaryEvmongrain.com. You can follow me there. You can come and listen to my podcast on those 7 podcast broadcasting station, including Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Again, I don't remember. Deezer is one. iHeartRadio is another one. And I'm looking forward to talking to you the next time and talk more about what's going on in my amazing world. So if you need some support in creating your dream world, well, you know where to find me. So I'll see you another time. And until then, may your reality be as awesome as you are. Ciao.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.